Yeah, and that's a great Keo, because again, strawberries is it's extremely specific. Uh, yeah, there's again people with allergies that are allergies to things that are found in everyday products and food, and when they can't really go out to eat because they can only eat specific things. Damn, that's crazy. So yeah, definitely we're all thankful. I'm not really allergic to anything like that, or so I think I'm not. But so far so good. Moving on.
1. All mirrors are actually ever so slightly green due to the fact they reflect slightly more green lights than any other colour. This can be seen when looking into one of two mirrors that have been placed on opposite sides of each other, as the everlasting reflections get more and more green as they move away from you. Number 62. If you were thinking the last time you watched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, my, don't those lovely Hugo Boss designed Nazi uniforms look real? It's because they are. Most of the uniforms worn by the actors playing Nazis in the book-burning scene are authentic World War II uniforms, and yes, they were designed by Hugo Boss. 2 facts for the price of 1 there. Bargain. Number 63. Earth is the only known planet in the entire universe where fire can burn, because no other planet has enough oxygen in its atmosphere. Nintendo 64. The second ruler of the Moroccan Alawite dynasty, known as Ismail ibn Sharif, is known to have sired 867 children, which is widely considered to be the highest verifiable number of offspring produced by one man in human history. Number 65. For a period in 2010, the fastest supercomputer used by the US Defense Department was 1,760 PlayStation 3 consoles hooked up to one another. So next time your grandma complains at you that you're playing too many video games, say it's saving the world, Nana. Number...
Right? Whoa, whoa. 867 kids. The bassist for the Wailers, Bob Marley and the Wailers, they call him Family Man. And they call him Family Man for a reason. It's not because he's an excellent bass player. The man has 53 kids. So that's like straight up his kids. It's them. It's his. That is a person that I thought that had the most kids. Like I didn't think that there was anyone else. 867 kids. That's like, holy crap, dude. That is insane. Imagine the child support. It's just that they wouldn't. I mean, I don't think that. It's just, wow. That means that he would have had to have, like, every single time. Well, I mean, it's believable because there was no protection back then, and there was nothing a man could use or a woman could use. So it's extremely believable if you really think about it. 867 kids. That's nothing if you think about it back then, and it's just he just had 867 different partners that coincidentally all had a kid, or some of them had more than one kid. I don't think he said anything about PlayStation. He mentioned Nintendo 64 because it was number 64, but I don't think he said anything about PlayStation. They did mention about fire. That fire can only burn on Earth because of the correct me if I'm wrong, chat. The oxygen. Maybe go back a little. He did say something about PlayStation. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Let's see. So this is the dude.
Considered to be the highest verifiable number of offspring produced by one man in human history. Number 65. For a period in 2010, the fastest supercomputer used by the US Defense Department was 1,760 PlayStation 3 consoles hooked up to one another. So next time your grandma complains at you that you're playing too many video games, say it's saving the world, Nana. Number 66.
Sorry about that, Pothead. You're absolutely right. Yep. There you go. Yeah, so the fastest in 2010, the fastest was what was it? 13 PlayStation 3s connected together. So yeah, that Quackhead, thank you for joining chat. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, that's. There we go. That's crazy. No, all the contrary. The Chronic has you hearing extremely well. Pickle, thank you for joining chat. Appreciate that. We're currently doing, like I said before, 101 facts about anything and everything. We're on number 66. Let's move on.
When Microsoft launched its own line of phones, the company held a mock funeral to mark the death of the iPhone. In retrospect, that probably was a tad overconfident. What do you think, Siri?
That was really quite silly, Sam.
Yeah, I thought so. Number 67. If you could hypothetically fold a sheet of paper in half as many times as you wanted, by the...
No problem, Kiam. Have a great day, and thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate that. Have a great day at work. Oh, no problem, Pothead. I'm glad that we went back to be able to see it. Pickle, thank you for that follow. Yeah, I'm glad we went back. You're Pickle Rick. Indeed you are, and I appreciate that follow. He does. I think it's because it's so many facts. He's trying to fit it into a certain amount of time to keep people interested. But yeah, he does. You're absolutely right, Munin. He does talk a little bit fast. The Flash, thank you for joining chat. I appreciate that. Love those emotes.
The 103rd fold, it would be as thick, with 2 C's, as the entire universe. Exponential growth's a bitch. Number 68. Whataburger and What-A-Burger are the names of 2 American burger company restaurants which opened independently of each other in 1950 and were completely unaware of each other's existence until years later in the 1970s. Number 69. Sam. The high-energy music hall dance known as the can-can became popular during the 1840s and was widely considered scandalous at the time. It was the twerking of its day. You may think this is simply because of prudish social norms at the time, but in actual fact, many women of that time wore pantalettes, a form of loose underwear which featured an open crotch. As a result, the can-can's trademark high kicks could well be extremely revealing indeed. Number 70. You know how in movies you always see badasses setting off explosions by flicking a lit cigarette into a puddle of gasoline? Well, shockingly, movies are lying to you. It is impossible to ignite spilt fuel by dropping a lit cigarette on it. In fact, one group of researchers tried to replicate this move 2,000 times and ended up with a failure rate of 100%. Number 71. The mafia crime drama The Sopranos was so accurate that when the show aired on Sundays, the FBI listening to the mobsters the following Monday via wiretaps heard them discussing the show and couldn't believe how accurate it was. In fact, some of them suspected that the show's producers had a mole on the inside. Number...
I can believe that. I can definitely believe that about The Sopranos, that they had like someone in, like an informant that was giving them straight up information from the mafia, so it can be as realistic as possible. Most definitely. Okami, thank you for joining chat. I appreciate it. Oh, you have some friends that actually tried that? The gasoline thing? Did it work? I'm surprised. I'm shocked. Again, all this time I thought that was like the whole shtick, and you could movies make it seem like you just throw like a match or a cigarette and the whole gas station blows up.
Thank you. Far too kind.
SG, thank you for that cheer. I appreciate it. I think it's gasoline fumes that are flammable. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Oh, you played with fire a lot, Nox, I see. Gasoline is actually not that flammable. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So there's another thing that movies are lying to us about. Because they fooled me all this time into thinking that was actually the thing. Damn movies.
72. The rock and roll legend Elvis Presley was known to have symbols from several different religions on chains around his neck. When asked about it, he explained he did so simply because he didn't want to miss out on heaven due to a technicality. Crazy, right? Just crazy enough to work. Number 73. When a person turns 100 in Japan, they are sent a special silver cup from the Prime Minister to mark the achievement. Unfortunately, so many people turn 100 in Japan nowadays that the government has started to issue silver-plated cups instead. Oh, it's not even worth living for that long then, is it? Number 74. The Japanese electronics company Samsung originally sold just noodles. It wasn't until 1970 that they moved into the electronics market, and in my expert opinion, it was probably for the best. Number 75. Despite their seemingly primitive appearance, matches were actually invented after the cigarette lighter. Number 76.
Okay, wait, let me re-knock this up. We also threw lighter gas, refill canisters, and fire pits. Those went out with a bang. I could only imagine. Yeah, well, back home in DR, we would do it. We would do the fireworks that were like pure dynamite, and we would put like trash cans on top of them, and those would, when they would bang, it would shoot straight up, and that was, let's just say that was a problem afterwards. Matches came after lighters. Yeah, that one really shocked me there. And again, I'm surprised at all the things I did not know. Yeah, Knox was he was a menace. I'm thinking about just like I personally didn't play with like fire like that, but yeah, I do remember doing those experiments, we used to call them, with fireworks and whatnot, trying to see what we could explode, and let's just say I got in trouble a lot. Moving on.
Almost a quarter of all photocopier faults throughout the world are caused by people sitting on them in an attempt to photocopy their arse. A lot of these facts in this video are hard to believe, but this one, yeah, not so much. Number 77. Like all other planets in our solar system, Uranus is constantly pirouetting as it makes its way around the Sun, owing to the fact its orbital axis is tilted at 90 degrees. Less of a pirouette and more like rolling on the floor to put out your flaming clothes. Number 78. Roughly a quarter of all the bones in your body are in your feet. It's just like my grandma used to say, feet have more bones in them than you think. Sage words. Thanks, Nana. Number 79. Mantis shrimp can snap its claws so fast that it boils the water around it and even creates a flash of light. Kind of like an anime fight scene, only real and with shrimp. Number 80. Hilariously, the state sport of the American state of Maryland is jousting. What? Does that really still happen? If so, get me tickets. Number 81. In order to know whether it's a good time to mate, male giraffes employ a rather impolite method of foreplay. A male who is hot under his numerous collars will continuously headbutt a female in the bladder until she urinates, at which point the male then tastes the pee, which allows him to tell whether or not she's ovulating. Kinky giraffes.
Alright, let's go. I mean, some do foreplay, some dance, and some do this kinky shit like he said. There's I think it's David Attenborough. He has this, I think it's on Netflix. My wife and I were watching it, and it's how different ways that, and I think it was, that one was, the one I remember the most was the birds, how they mate and the calling that they do. And there was one of them that does this weird dance, but it involves like that same thing, like I think like the bird like spits, and it's like how far the bird can spit with the thing and the dancing, and it's weird. Like I said, people are, things in life, yeah, they're into weird shit. That's exactly, yep. And that'll determine if this is the one you want to mate with. Oh, yep, she's ready. Let's do this. She's like, oh, you headbutted me. Oh.
Number 82. More photos were taken in the last 2 minutes than the entirety of the 19th century.
Squirrel, no problem. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a great Saturday.
However, roughly the same proportion were dick pics, I assume. Number 83. Humanity sent people to walk on the moon before someone had the bright idea to put wheels on suitcases, which appeared in the 1970s. Number 84. Old William Shakespeare, or Billy Shakes as I call him, invented a great number of things. One of those things was the name Jessica, which was invented by Shakespeare specifically for his 16th century play The Merchant of Venice. Number 85. The original name of the settlement that eventually grew to become the city of Los Angeles, El Pueblo de Nuestra Sonora La Reina de Los Angeles de Porciuncula, which
Okay, hold on. Let me read it correctly, because come on now.
That eventually grew to become the city of Los Angeles, El Pueblo.
So it's El pueblo de Nuestra Señora, la Reina de los Ángeles de Porciúncula. I mean, I get it. No hate on the dude, but I just wanted to be able to read it correctly, because why not?
To Denestra, Sonora la Reina de Los Angeles de Porciúncula, which translates as the town of Our Lady, the Queen of Angels of Porciúncula. Number 86. The pop-punk band Blink-182 named their production company Poo Poo Butt Inc. to facilitate the simple pleasure of getting to hear their accountants, managers and attorneys say it completely seriously during meetings and over the phone. Number 87. A proper term for a person who has a particular love of beards is a pogonophile. That doesn't have any negative connotations, does it? Number 88. The French equivalent of English phrases like the cat's vagina.
Pogonophile. Okay, there we go. I did not know that.
Or the bee's knees is Le Petit Jesus en Colette de Velours, which means the baby Jesus in velvet shorts, though it's usually used to describe good wine. I have so many questions about that, I'm just going to move on. But let me just try it out first, actually. Jennifer Lawrence, Tu es Petit Jesus en Colette de Velours. Number 89. In 2005, Facebook hired graffiti artist David Cho to work his artistic magic in the new company office and cover the place in cool, trendy, proto-millennial murals. Cho agreed to be paid in Facebook shares rather than customary money, which paid off big time in 2012 when Facebook went public, giving its shares a value of roughly $200 million. Number 90. Before filming Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, director Alfonso Cuarón challenged the plucky trio of Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint and Emma Watson to write an essay about their characters. Studious Watson wrote a 16-page treatise on Hermione Granger, whereas Radcliffe produced a single page. Grint, however, forgot to turn his in. Oh, that is so wrong. To be fair, Grint was a bit older than Watson and Radcliffe and was studying for his GCSEs at the time, so maybe cut him some slack, okay, you savages? Number 91. In 1988, Cosmopolitan magazine, in all its sexual wisdom, ran an article saying it was impossible for women to contract HIV from having sex with a man because the virus could not be transmitted via the missionary position. For the sake of any and all doubt, this is absolutely 100% false. Wrap it up, kids. Wrap it the F up.
Okay. I mean, I guess this information has been around for a while now, because that is some... Wow. I get it. Like, this is the 80s and whatnot, but holy shit, that... Why would you associate one... I don't know. That was definitely terrible advice. And it was published. That's the thing. It was published on Cosmopolitan and sold all across the nation. And that's what they were saying. That is insane. Like, what? You can't hear me. Mike should be on. I'm gonna just sit this one out. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that's. All right. I'm sorry, Munin. Dang. But let me know if it changes. It wouldn't surprise me if they had an article advising not to eat bat soup to avoid gonorrhea. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Maybe, Munin. If you're on your if you're on a computer, maybe refresh or close the app and open it. I'm sorry about that. Moving on.
Number 92. Rebel Wilson decided to pursue a career in acting after she contracted malaria and experienced vivid hallucinations in which she thought she was a famous actress winning an Academy Award. Number 93. Bright Source Energy even...
Okay. Well, I guess. I mean, some people contract something and they get those hallucinations. Other people take shit to get those hallucinations. So yeah, that's where we are. But unmute what? Yeah, I know that Amy. That was That one was weird.